Can we do it?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vibration, where we empower individuals to speak their distinct truth, passions, and personal message on a global stage. I'm your host, Mechelle McDonald, passionate author, speaker, and entrepreneur. And today, as we celebrate the arts and the creatives of the Bahamas, I have a very special guest, Javano Stubbs, who is a visionary in the creative space and a part of a support system that really highlights the Bahamian creatives here. Javano, welcome.
Thank you for having me here.
So for those who may not know you, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
So that's a question that I try to avoid most of the time in my life, mostly, because I'm a person that I liked my action to speak louder than my presence. So basically, my name, Javano Stubbs, and a fun fact, my first name is actually Javano Deween, which is one word, Stubbs. I do have a middle name that I won't say out loud. Growing up in the Bahamas, and especially in Nassau, one of my biggest, I grew up in a culture of a family that knows about culture. So my family background, I don't know if you're familiar with Juju tailoring. He's a well-known tailor around the world, also known for his craftsmanship inside the Junkanoo for sections, clothing, costumes and so forth.
Love it.
Pieces in there, dancing and so forth. So getting bad grades, what my mom used to do is send me there to his tailor store and make me sit there for the whole summer for punishment.
Mom.
And so what he did was showed me the ropes of how to use my hands. In the form of just creating garments, creating tailor suits, just cutting, knowing the different details of the sewing machines and so forth. And I did that for quite a time from my younger age straight up to like probably 14. I was able to use my hand. Most times most people find that industry, they learn by books nowadays. But I learned physically. So I started in there, and then gradually I went going to school. I did clothing construction, and then food and nutrition. But I couldn't cook. But it's not a passion,
Yes.
So I stayed in that path for quite a while. Graduating out of school, I started to feel my way in the world.
Okay, good.
So I started to play along, working with garments, sewing for small little events and so forth. But like I said earlier, I like my presence to be seen by my action and by my craft. And so I was never the person to always be in the limelight or the person to say, hey, see me, just see my work and appreciate it for what it is. And so as time passed, I wouldn't say I got bored of it. It wasn't fulfilling. And so I have this saying that I find a purpose.
Yes.
To serve another lifestyle to live. And so I had my best friend, he came up with this idea about doing a show called Fashion for Our Foundation in 2015.
Okay.
The first time we did it, he did it. He did it solo. I was just dealing with school. I was in school. Fun fact also, I was doing law and sociology.
Wow. What a mix.
So not related. He started it. That was his first time doing it. And he just say, hey, can you come along the journey? And I just said, I'll do it as a volunteer the first year. And so I just look at the ropes and so forth.
Yeah.
The next year, and I told him, I think I want to assist. He said, how about I give you creative rights? And he appointed me as the creative director for the Fashion Foundation. Now, the first time we did the Fashion for a Foundation, it was at the Black Box.
Oh, nice. Shout out.
And we'll talk about that later. It was at the Black Box. And what was so crazy about that was the Black Box, we anticipated like 100 persons. But it tripled So what we had to do was split the show in two. So we had to push up the timeline, end it, and then start the whole show all over again to
Oh my
accommodate everybody.
goodness.
And that gave us the drive to continue to do it again. And the purpose was for the Ramfley home, for the children, for the transitioning home.
Very nice.
So we said, okay, in 2015, we decided to do it again. So the first time was in 2014. In 2015, we decided to do it again. I became the creative director. We said we're going to go big.
Oh yeah.
We're going to
go home.
we had a little challenge with the seating. So we was like, okay, let's go big. Let's go to Hilton.
Oh.
And so we started, we had a big eye, we call it, as we had big eyes. And so we started the Hilton, almost 300, 200 persons came out.
What?
And it was one of the most successful fashion shows that year. And it was fulfilling. At that time, that's when I taste my purpose. And so what I did was, it didn't end there. My very good friend and sister from another mother, Chantel O'Brien, came out that next year, and we had the Hurricane Joaquin came in, and it was so devastating. So what she did was she had a vision, and she was Miss World at that time. She had a vision and saying, okay, she wants to use what we do together, fashion and show and an aid to help people. Let's come together and create Runway for Relief.
Okay.
And that's where Runway for Relief was introduced in the latter part of that, 2015. And so we came together, we did it, and that was even more fulfilling. And it didn't end there, you know? The journey didn't end there. Because, and I don't see, and I say all of this about myself, and this is so weird, because I don't like to talk about myself and the things I do, but we're here.
Yes.
But after all of that, I've done different shows for many people, and then it was like, okay, let's do it. Fast forward in 2019, Runway for Relief was reintroduced because of Hurricane Dorian.
Yes.
Now that one touched a lot of hearts.
Yes.
And also in that, we said, let's go big. And so what we did for that one, we said our point of Runway for Relief was doing things in places that you would never imagine a fashion show would be. And that year we did it at Diamonds International on Bay Street.
Yeah.
So
nice.
what they did was they transformed the whole Diamonds International store, made a runway, everything, and it was very fantastic, very well turned out, and it was. And there's a picture circling around with me, her, and Javano standing up, and I'm like, because like I said, I'm not a person to be in the limelight. I like my presence to be seen by my work. And so, moving forward, going back a little bit, Joe Stubbs came up with the Bahamas Fashion Week.
Okay, heard about that.
That was really, really, really excellent. That was a fresh fashion culture coming up in the world, in the Bahamas.
Yes.
And so, he came and approached me and said, "Hey, can you be on my board and team?" And I said, "Okay, cool."
Okay.
And that was a really good experience.
Lovely.
And so we execute that, and up to this day, I still talk about it like it was just yesterday. So
Love that.
So that's basically me in the history of coming up in the culture of fashion, art, and the Bahamian culture.
I love that. You've really said so much, and I really want to kind of go back just slightly. First of all, I know all the Saxons listening right now, they happy you gave them that little shout out. You know, that you were a part of making them little...
you wanna hear a little fun fact?
I do.
I'm not a Saxon.
Okay.
It's very controversial, but I'm a one family.
Oh, yeah. Listen, that is us. We are the same. Yes.
Because, like I said, my family has whole different backgrounds. My uncle, Jujut, he has a background in creating, but I also have an uncle, Roderick Johnson, who has a background in dance, and he's one of the dancers on the One Family line back then, long time ago. If you ever think about it, think about One Family. There's always one guy on a roller skates. If you remember, there's always this fair-skinned guy on a roller skates. That is my uncle Roderick.
We are not going to miss him.
So after a while, he moved back to Canada, and so you haven't seen him for a minute. But I love his accents.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It is okay. Listen, they will understand.
Yes.
And, Bahamians, we love to be splexy. So the fact that you have touched on so many different aspects of fashion, but you've also infused culture into it so that it's not just something that we see, it's something that we feel.
Yes.
And through feeling not just the culture, the history, and the fabric, we also feel you. And I think that that's incredible.
Yeah, because the purpose of culture is not about or fashion or anything. It's not about the garments or the fabric and so forth. It's the personal touch.
Yes.
It's the time and effort, the excitement you feel when you think about it, when you hear. For example, the jump canoe. You had that when you had that that goatskin jump just hit the bass. You get that feeling, and it's not the drum that bring the culture up to the surface. It's the people.
Yes.
It's I don't know how to say it. It's just a feeling, if you get what I'm saying. So that's why I keep on repeating myself on this because people work speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And just how culture speaks for itself. Like when you think about your family, your ancestors and your grandmother and your great grandmother, they talk about how they felt and how they felt while they were doing the Bahamian culture, bringing it up and bringing it to the forefront that it is today.
Yeah.
And so that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's such a distinct sense of pride that comes with that. It's not something that money can buy. Like, we go after tags so much, right?
Yes.
Name brands. And listen, if that's you, that's fine. But we need to step into the person behind the garment.
Correct.
As you said, we need to be able to feel that connection. Every time we wear this outfit, we know what goes into it and what is exuded just for the presence of us and them through the fabric.
And that's also why whenever I'm approached to do a fashion show, they always ask me what designers you want to feature. For me, I rather feature the up and coming persons. We've seen and granted we have really good designers here and
Yes.
different persons, but we've seen them, we saw them, we already experienced them, and we felt what they bring to the table. Let's bring somebody else to the table.
Yes.
Let's see what someone who's coming up is good at doing, and let's highlight it, because then now you don't just have like a table of just one set of people for generation and generation and generation, and because at some point they're gonna be gone.
Yes.
So you need to replace them. You need to have a fresh face, a fresh opinion, a fresh look, everything. And so that's what I try to advocate. Let's see new faces. Let's try to develop it, and let's have a large force of different culture, different fashion, and every way and form.
Yes, and I applaud you for that, because I feel as though the persons who have experienced so much, they can feel a bit intimidated or even detached from the younger generation, not intentionally. And so they steer away from bringing them into the spotlight, and in some ways not making their journey as difficult as theirs was. And we know that's a slippery slope.
Yeah, that is.
As they say, that's another conversation.
Yes.
But you are doing so well in what you have presented and what you continue to do for them. And I know that truly just means a lot. There's so many future generations to come, and we got to be able to celebrate them, put them on the stage. Oh,
highlight them. Like, let them feel appreciated. Let them know that you can get better in time too. Especially you push them a little more when you highlight them.
Yeah.
Because they don't stay stagnant. They don't stay within what they're. They grow, and they grow more and more and more. And then sometimes you might see a next big brand on Fashion Week and so forth and stuff like that. So
there you go. And they remember where they started.
It's always where you started from.
So, Javano Duane, we have our nice little rapid fire fun segment. Very quick. So, tell me what you think when I say these two words, okay? First one, couture.
Say it again.
Couture.
I become blank.
Okay. Bespoke.
Bespoke. I think about a fashion brand, Kida.
Okay. Good. Favorite production you were a part of?
Oh, that's quite a few.
Give us one that's right on the tip of your tongue. That one right there.
It's it's literally two.
Okay, give us two.
Fashion for a Foundation and Runway for Relief. Those two, because those two challenged me. My creative juice just went haywire.
Yeah.
But there's the next one, hasn't produced yet,
Okay.
but you'll be seeing it soon. It's not my product, but I was a part of the team, and you'll see it. You'll see it very soon.
Okay, I'm excited.
That is exciting.
All right. Which island do you think is the most creative?
Now I could go to my hometown,
Yes.
but I'll stick with where I'm born, was Nassau. I think
Okay.
that's the most creative.
All right, cool. Shout out to Nassau.
Sorry, Cat Island.
It's okay. Now, Javano Duane, I must admit, when I met you, you were like a breath of fresh air. You had this natural flow of creativity. I could tell just from speaking with you for a few minutes that you were a visionary. There was something in you that had been ingrained for generations. So there's no surprise that your family was a huge part of all of this. But it was just the way that you handled the vision of being a creative. You were able to either take something from nothing, make it spectacular, right? Or accent it in a way that was just like over the top, but not too much. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how I've always, and I have to give credit to my mom. We call her the glue stick lady.
Okay.
She have a glue gun and a glue stick everywhere. But whenever I walk into a room to create something, there's always two sides to me. There's a side whereas logically, and there's a side of creatively. And the part whereas I merge both of them, I just sit down and think about how would me as a spectator enjoy this. And that's how I'm able to tap into seeing things as in a creative space. When we first met, like my creative juice was going.
I can tell.
We were talking, we were walking. I was feeling, and you remember I pulled out the tape,
Yes.
and I was like,
You're like, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
for this.
But that's a part of me that I love the most. Nothing has limit. Everything I touch, I try to put my best, and I try to allow people to see the best in it. Not just see me, but see the product,
Yeah.
And that's where the passion comes from.
Yes, so beautifully said. And I can absolutely see that from everything that you've done and from what I've seen already. So I'm so excited for this upcoming production. I know lip seal, but I'm still ready. So you touching on there being no limits and motivating youth. I know that these two things connect with your personal brand. Tell us a little bit about that.
So my personal brand, so most people it may be off of everything that we just talked about, but the brand itself, the name itself, defining your safe space, speaks volumes.
Yes.
In the whole storyline that I told you just now, within that, I found my safe space. I found a space where I can be creative, I can be vulnerable, I can be goofy, I can be silent, introvert, I can do anything I want when it comes to that safe space. And so in 2023, I decided to bring forward that to the forefront to let you know that a safe space is not just mainly a room of four walls. A safe space is not just your mind.
Yeah.
A safe space can be creative. A safe space can be a person, creative space. A safe space can be a person. A safe space can be your phone, which I wouldn't recommend. Please don't. Go into a world and do something with your hands.
Yes.
But a safe space can be anything.
Yeah.
And the reason why this brand was so touching to me was 2023 was one of my trying years where I asked myself, what is my purpose?
Yeah.
You know, that's a difficult question to ask. And I was turning 30. To ask yourself, what is my purpose in the world? What am I doing here? Why am I'm here? And that year was I couldn't answer that question. I could not answer that question. Until I had a friend who just came to me and she just sit down, and I had a good team. I must say I had a really good team, a backbone with me. And she came to me and she said, look at your work. Look at everything that you've done and tell me how you feel while you sit in it.
Okay. Good question.
And I was like, I didn't do anything. She said, as your friend, I can list you 5 things that you've done for me. And as anybody in your circle, you have always been the light. I'm going to get there. I'm going to do it no matter what.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I realized that, hey, my purpose in the world is to, like I said from the beginning, find a purpose to serve and not a lifestyle to live. And I stick with that. And that's where the defining a safe space developed. And so with that, I made it a mission to take care of myself mentally, take care of my creative space where I can be able to do things. Because I got lost at one point.
Yeah.
I stopped doing a lot of things when it comes to the creative field and the arts field and the fashion field. I did a lot. I stopped. Even with pageantry, I did a lot of pageantry in the past. Coaching for Miss Universe, coaching for Miss Teen Black international pageants for university and so forth. I paused between 2021 to 2022. And 2023 is when I realized that I needed to find my safe space and find myself within and being able to project it and be the light that I know I have always been. Not always dim it and not always saying, okay, I don't want to be in the front of the limelight.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want to be seen as the individual.
Yes.
And as for my craft. But my craft will also speak for itself.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And I'm glad that you were able to recognize that you needed to take a step back. And more importantly, that you had a support system that was truly there to see you thrive. And you created such a brand out of all of that.
It's still developing.
Yeah.
It's still developing. So as time progresses, you'll see more of it.
Awesome. So you've given us some great goodies. We have to know, how can we connect with you, find out more about your brand, your next production? Fill us in.
So you can find me on social media, mostly on Instagram. I'm very active on Instagram. You can find me personally at It's Javano Stubbs. Also, you can also find my brand on Instagram, defining your safe space today. Also, next production in the making, and you guys will be the first to know about it.
Ooh.
I am now working on a panel talk, whereas defining your safe space panel, where we have people in different environments, different cultures, different work environments, so forth. That can be creative arts, that can be also politics, that can be in religion, any different categories of life, of a walk of life. I want to bring forward and let them explain how they define their safe space and their own rights and what they do today.
Nice.
And so that is in the making. It's already started developing. Just one or two little things need to tie up, knots need to tie up, and you'll be seeing it soon.
Awesome. Thank you for that exclusive tidbit. We appreciate it. Javano, I have truly appreciated you being here and just sharing everything that you are. It just absolutely exudes in how you talk, the way that you reference the culture, reference your family, reference the things that you have touched and brought to life. And you've truly given us a lot to think about. You're such an inspiration. And you've heard that before. I'm going to say it again. You are such an inspiration. Thank you so much. Thank you. A very special thank you to our audience for watching this episode, and also to our sponsor, Amber L, who encourages you to nourish your everyday skin glow. Stay tuned next week for another episode of Vibration, where we raise your frequency and amplify your truth. Bye, everyone.